Let's get ready to rumble! Coming to you from the home of the fishingest bridge in all the world, this is Beach Talk Radio.
Maybe that's the way to combat this. We as a group.
Chad is here.
I asked for Chad to speak.
Well, he's not speaking yet. I'm speaking. So maybe that's the way to combat this, is to...
So I guess I didn't get my question answered before you get to talk.
I asked Chad to come up. He did not come up.
He'll come up now.
This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Live from Peach Time Out in the heart of Times Square. You're listening to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
And a good morning, everybody, and welcome to Beach Talk Radio, episode number 206, coming to you live from Peach Time Out in Times Square, the Margaritaville district of Fort Myers Beach. We have another great show lined up for you today, and I want to alert all affiliates down the line that we're not going to go long today. We're going to stay right at 10 o'clock.
Let me just ask, are you doing that? And like the guy that used to do the introduction for the wrestling or the boxing?
Michael Buffer?
Yeah.
No, it's my own thing. I like to have my own thing. I do my own thing. I don't need to follow somebody else's thing.
You're a copycat.
I'm not a copycat. We're going to be live at Santini Plaza at 11 o'clock. Coming to you live from Santini Plaza. The Community Foundation fashion show will be taking place, and we're going to be there live because, you know, you have to love a good fashion show, and it's all for a good organization. So
and you are not in the fashion show.
I have no fashion,
okay. Well,
and
yes,
I'll just be behind the scenes, and that's coming up at 11 o'clock. But, of course, we'd like to say thank you to all of our fabulous local sponsors, including Fort Myers Tiki Tours, Nervous Nellies, Mangaritas, State Insurance USA, Sun Palace Vacations, Beach Pottery, Shuckers, the Farmers Market at Beach Baptist, Island Carts FMB, Snug Harbor for their Super Bowl party that we're going to tell you about, the JPS Vacations, which I'm going to tell you about this, and Peach Time Out, of course, Peach Time Out. Oh, that was a hard ending right at the end of that. Man, that's good stuff right there, dear. By the way,
perfect.
JPS Vacation Rentals created these magnets for us, which is Eliza. She's so cool. She came in and she printed them out. She laminated them, and she got magnets on the back. And they're going to give them out to all the people that rent vacation apartments, I guess, or houses, and put them in their bags. She came down this morning.
That's awesome.
While you were fighting the traffic, and she showed us.
Busy today, folks.
Yes, there was a line for Pete's already this morning, which is awesome. Coming up later in the program, we have Steve Johnson is coming on. We love having Steve Johnson on, not only to talk about the fact that he's the grand poobah of the Tarpon Club, but he is also on the he's on some committee, right? He's on the Marine Resources
Task
I think
Force.
they just changed the name of that, the Marine Resources something else and something other.
Well, we'll have to ask.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him about that, and He's so passionate about the turtles and the lighting and the lighting and the lighting and the lighting that we're going to talk about some lighting at 9:30. The other thing I want everybody to be aware of, in addition to the Super Bowl where the Bengals are going to win by 10 points tomorrow, do you care to make a prediction?
They're favored.
They're
like
not.
That.
They're underdogs
they're
by
4 points.
3.5 now.
Oh, went down.
Do you know what that means?
Yes, I do.
What does that mean?
That means that they think that they have a slight advantage. And so
Who it does?
The Rams.
Okay. Well, when it goes from 4 to 3.5, what does that mean?
It's going down.
Okay. Thank you very much. You're right. Got me on that one, dear. Got me on that one. But anyway.
I don't know what you're asking.
I know you know. It's a sports thing.
I understand that that's the points you get.
Oh, okay. You're getting in the weeds now. You're getting in the weeds. So what were you talking about?
I don't know, but the intro that you did,
yes,
just to be clear.
Oh, here we go. You're gonna put a disclaimer on it?
The disclaimer is I am never consulted about.
She was not consulted about the intro. Now that did take place last week.
I didn't watch it. I didn't hear
I
about
did watch it. I heard about
I
it.
didn't know about it.
If you didn't hear the intro, if you're joining us late, you're going to have to go back and rewind to the beginning of the show.
No involvement
So
in putting that
was
together.
organizing that this morning at 3:30, and you come running out of the bedroom thinking I'm on the phone with somebody
Yeah.
because I'm splicing and I'm dicing and I'm mixing
and again,
and changing.
I couldn't hear content or context. I just heard voices.
Right. So the other thing I wanted, I know what I was going to say before we invite the folks from the school board on to talk about cornhole.
Not the school board. Just
the PTO.
Yes.
Sorry. That's right. PTO is different from the school board.
Is it
it's
okay
different.
that I correct you?
Yes, it is very much okay that you correct me. Last week when you corrected our guest, I thought that was entirely out of line. You made him feel like he didn't know what he was talking about. Pavlov, Maslow's dogs, the dogs, the cats.
It's not that he didn't know. He just misspoke. I know he knows the difference. And by the way, I got a side-eye look from a turkey vulture this morning, so we'll have to talk about that later.
Stand by. We'll save the incident that she had with the bird, folks. You're gonna wait until you want to stay to the end about the bird incident. It was very traumatic last week.
I also
the bird
had a
incident.
car incident this week. So.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to stay tuned for that because her stories are so much more exciting than my stories. So you're gonna want to stay tuned.
That's because I get out of the house.
To that. Yes. And so what I wanted everybody to make sure they watch the county board meeting on Tuesday. There's a lot going on with the water. There's a lot going on with those politicians in Tallahassee that you can't trust. Kevin Ruane was up in Tallahassee trying to fix what was going on when they're trying to sneak all of that stuff that went on with Losum and all of that stuff that everybody participated in. And all of that work seems to be thrown down the crapper now because of the politicians in Tallahassee and what they're doing with a bill that it doesn't even seem like the governor can do anything to fix. So you're going to want to watch the county board meeting on Tuesday at 9:30 and pay attention to all of it, of course, because they run meetings efficiently, but especially pay attention to when Kevin brings up the water issue. It's not going well for Southwest Florida.
Well, for all of the Everglades restoration stuff. I mean, for the Losum stuff, for the EAA reservoir. So if there's been plenty of articles written all over the state about this. It's Senate Bill 2508.
2508, yeah.
And it went through the appropriate. It was
in a committee. 16-4 was the vote in favor of whatever this bill is. Al Britton was on the committee and he voted yes. I know it's going to go. Kevin said it's going to go in front of the full Senate on the 17th. So, I mean, it doesn't look like anything can be done. But what I'm hoping to do is that we can get Kevin on a show tomorrow. I'm trying to set up a special show tomorrow to see if he's available. I'm sure he's busy as crazy. So if we can make that happen, he'll be able to explain it. I don't know that anything can be done. But anyway, we have a great show lined up for you today. So right now we're going to ask our PTO members to come on because they have a fundraiser coming up. At 9:30, we're going to talk to Steve Johnson, Mr. Lighting himself, Mr. Turtle himself, and Mr. Murph is going to come on, and we're going to ask him point blank if he's going to run for town council, dear. That's the question of the day for Steve Johnson. And right
These are
now,
the things you need answered.
Right.
These are questions you have.
Right. While we're waiting for our PTO people to come on over, we want to remind everybody that tomorrow is the Super Bowl. And if you want to enjoy a great Super Bowl party, you should stop by Snug Harbor for their second annual Super Bowl party. It is right down Old San Carlos next to Nervous Nelly's. It starts at 5 o'clock with a buffet of SoFi Stadium fare. They have a halftime buffet, roasted prime rib, garlic whipped Red Bliss, potatoes. There's nothing better than Red Bliss potatoes on Super Bowl Sunday, but they also have sauteed green beans. They're giving away a 70-inch television. That's bigger than you, a 70-inch television. It's a Samsung Class 7 series for those of you keeping score at home. It's $39 per guest. You get all that stuff, and they're giving away lots of prizes. And so stop by the Snug Harbor to see Cincinnati take on
the LA Rams.
Who's the quarterback for the LA Rams?
Matthew Stafford.
Oh, Jim.
Listen, I was-
for one time, I was going to get her on a question.
You
And
had
Mr.
to be
Detroit,
impressed that I even knew the first
you
name.
had the first name, and I thought, holy moly, she might actually get it. And then Jim saved your day
And the
there.
other guy, the other team is Joe Burrow.
Yes. All right, dear. Enough showing off, okay? I'll give you a bell for the Joe Burrow thing. I mean, everybody knows Joe Burrow because he's Mr. Sexy and he's right out of college and he might win the Super Bowl.
Such a young.
Yeah.
He's so young.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I only know Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is old and retired now. He's out. He's out of the loop.
I know.
We have members of the PTO here, and we're here to talk about cornhole. And I never thought I'd say that in a sentence. I'm here to talk about cornhole.
Do you know how that?
I don't. Did you do some research
I
last night
did.
after we
You
came back
guys
from
know?
the chamber meeting?
Oh, we're excited to learn.
Don't worry. If you don't, she'll correct you. She's on some kind of correcting the guest mode.
That is not.
Go ahead. Now, nice and close with the microphones, ladies. I love your, are those cat ears?
Yes, those are all the rage.
What kind of cat? Why are they all the rage?
All the kids
Dear,
have
can
them.
she answer the questions?
Because they're cute.
Oh, I see. Well,
There
you don't
go.
need cat ears to be cute.
No kidding. You
Look at
are
that.
full of cuteness.
Yes. Make sure that she's on the camera, though. She's just out of the camera a little bit.
Well,
there.
can
All right.
we move the camera so you're off and she's on?
Oh, my God. Dear, my fans, you are in.
No. She's a firecracker.
Whatever you do, don't laugh at what my wife says because it will just encourage her to think she's funny. She doesn't bring the funny. I bring the funny.
She's
Okay.
pretty funny.
All right.
yeah.
Now,
Thank you.
we're not here to talk about me. Are we?
Please.
It's the PTO. We love having the PTO
Yes.
on. So, cornhole, are you going to give the history of that?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know about the history of it, but it's also called bags or bago. And the bags used to be filled with corn kernels. And so it was getting the corn kernel in the hole, corn in the hole.
Oh,
Cornhole.
there you go.
So there you
Wow. It was worth that 30 seconds you just
I'm
wasted.
telling you what. I'm
What was the
telling you
name? What was the name of that game where you used to have the bags and there were X's and O's where you would throw the this was a kids game back when I was young, which is 100
It's
years
like
ago.
I think it had like
Yeah.
it had like a
You had to get the
X's and
diagonal.
O's and-
What was the
yeah.
name of that game called? Yeah,
tic-tac,
or
tic-tac-toe,
or
but with
tic-tac-toe or something like
Yeah.
that. We did that. We had a game like that. So now it's evolved to where you throw a bag of corn into a hole and
Well, it's
Right?
not exactly the same. You're not getting any X's
Right,
and O's.
right.
You're just getting 2 points if it goes
Points,
in.
if
and a
you're
point-
lucky.
I
Yeah.
saw on ESPN or ESPN 13 or whatever it was, they actually have these championship
Mhm.
cornhole tournaments where these
Yeah.
people are super serious.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you knock somebody's cornhole out of the way
Oh,
to
yeah,
get your own
yes.
cornhole in the way. It's like a whole strategy. It's like pickleball. It's like there's a big everybody gets into the pickleball. Like they get angry about it.
You always have to put down stuff.
I'm not putting
that
down
you're
things.
not
It's like
interested
I mean,
in.
how do you train for cornhole? Like you're not running 5 miles for
I don't
cornhole.
know.
have to have
Marina's
really-
been practicing
Yeah.
on her Wii. She's got an old school Wii and she plays bags
Yeah.
on that,
Yeah.
don't you?
You
Yeah, she
practice
does.
you
Yeah.
practice cornhole on your Wii?
On your Wii, right?
How does that how do you do that?
Show them how do you do it.
Is that like a virtual reality kind of thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Do you-
the PTO got the school 2 sets, so the kids play at school. too.
Nice.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they're
Nice.
all practicing,
Yeah.
ready to
Now,
roll.
if we could talk about the school real quick, you guys are
Yeah.
getting some like really cool renovations done at the school.
Yeah,
Right?
with Bay Oaks, everything working with Bay Oaks and everything, them working in conjunction. It should be pretty amazing.
Right, you got some like new parking lot, new basketball court, and then when the whole thing is sorry, you don't take the microphone from her, whatever you do. And that whole area over there is going to be spectacular when Bay Oaks is finished and the school is all those renovations are done. And I guess they're going to start the renovations on Bay Oaks around when the school's out.
Yeah.
Your renovation
I
should
watched
be all done.
I watched the meeting on Beach Talk Live the other day.
Thank you very much for that. Do you read some of the comments that people make? I mean, sometimes people can be rude. on there.
Yeah, I know people had a hard time hearing.
Yeah. You know what? I know that I give the town a lot of grief because it's been 3 years. We've only been here for 3 years. And for all 3 years, the sound has been terrible. But this month they're fixing it. This is a month where they're getting an entirely new system in, video system, audio system. So
Good for them.
no more complaining about it.
Good.
Hopefully it'll be like everybody else with their meeting. So the tournament is
February 26th.
Yeah.
all right. Tell us all about it.
Well, so far we have maybe about
Maybe 15.
15 teams signed up, so we need more teams. And the beach is notorious for people waiting last minute, so we're hoping.
Right.
And then what a lot of the businesses have said they're going to sign up, and it's a great advertising. They're going to wear their shirts. It's a great way to advertise their businesses.
Okay, so you have shirts with the sponsors on them. Is that all the
They
players?
get their own.
They're wearing their own shirt.
The teams.
Yeah, if you get a team and you want to advertise your business, it's a perfect time to get a shirt with your logo on it. And then, as usual, our sponsors will get, advertising logos. They can put their logos all around.
Yeah.
So it's advertising for them.
And for those that don't know, it's going to be behind Shuckers.
Yes.
And they're out there playing all the time too. So it's the perfect spot for that.
And he got a special permit. We're going to have tents up, and they're going to do drink specials, food
Nice.
specials.
And-
Yeah, they're going to cook right out there on the beach. They're going to bring their grill out for us, and all the proceeds go into the school. Shuckers has been really great
Yeah,
with
they're-
helping. I mean,
oh,
2
yeah.
years in a row now, they've really gone above and beyond.
And
for
we
us.
were hoping that Brian would be here to chat about it, but I'm sure he's busy. He's always busy.
Me had a little bit of a family emergency.
Oh, I see.
Everything's okay.
Yeah.
But he's not
Oh,
able to
good,
make
good, good. I thought maybe you got caught in traffic.
We always-
it's crazy out there, the
It is
traffic and the
crazy.
parking.
And we've had him on before.
Oh, yeah,
He can take he
Yes.
he does well against you.
What are you talking about? I'm
Well,
always nice
sometimes
and
you're
generous to
ribbing
the guests.
people, and you
Yeah.
know.
Now, and Brian, I must say, is amazing. Like, we approach him for anything, and he's like, sure. And he's always willing to help, and he goes above and beyond to do the extra
Yep.
to help us. So we appreciate
we were
him.
talking before about the last fundraiser, the
The
casino.
casino
night. I mean,
night,
that was a huge thing to
Yes,
pull off.
Yes.
We were at a casino night last night
Yeah,
for
we
the Chamber
were.
of
Oh,
Commerce in
yes,
Cape Coral.
in Cape Coral,
There's,
right?
there's so many things going on. At 11 o'clock, there's a fashion show at the Santini Plaza for
Oh,
the Community Foundation. Yeah. So the money that's raised, so how much does it cost for a team? And is it a team of 4 or a team of 2? If there'd be no way I could find 3 friends. So if I wanted to
Only
be a
2.
team,
Yeah.
oh,
Team of 2.
yeah.
Mhm.
A team of 2 for $150.
$150 goes to the PTO, and you guys will use it to buy alcohol.
Anything they need.
anything.
Anything they need, anything that they could possibly want. Hopefully, they just went on their first field trip.
Yes.
Since she's been in kindergarten, so it's almost 3 years now. They were really lucky to be
Where
able to
did you
do
go?
that.
Where?
Lover's Key.
Lovers Key.
Lovers Key.
Very
Did you like
nice.
it?
What did you go to the new building over there at Lovers Key?
No.
No. They just took you in and you walked around and you left?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Hey,
Did you go to the beach over
Yes.
there? Yeah. Did you get in the water?
Yes.
Was it cold or warm?
Cold.
Cold.
did you see any sharks? Because she thought she saw a shark
I
once,
did, but it was
a dolphin. Yeah, no sharks.
No dolphin.
I only found fins.
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 So you're in 3rd grade?
Second.
2nd grade. Okay. And so what is your favorite subject?
Math.
Math. Yeah.
Who's your teacher over there?
Miss Hinkle.
Miss Hinkle?
Yeah.
Hinkle? Yeah.
I like that you smile when you say her name. Is she
Yes.
like a
Yes,
super
Miss
amazing?
Hinkle's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're all so good over there,
Yes.
I'm sure.
Now you have 2 folks retiring at the end of this year,
Yes.
don't you? The principal.
Yes, we do. And we're going to
And
miss
Miss
them.
Renee,
Yes.
yeah.
And Miss Manzi.
We're gonna have them
Right.
on in the
Wow.
summer to
Oh,
talk
okay.
about. Now I forget which one, but somebody does something with closets or
That's Renee.
She
Renee,
did- what's
for
that
any
all
kid
about?
that needs anything, she's right. Miss Renee's closet.
Yeah. So people just go to her house and just pick things out of her closet. Is that how it works?
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
nice.
That's exactly right.
That's
She's
the
very
stuff.
open like
This
that.
kind of community is like that. Just
That's
my
true.
casa is your casa.
That's
People
true. If
come
it's
to
going to
your
happen
house.
anywhere,
Yeah.
it's going to happen on Fort Myers Beach.
Yep.
So how many teams you guys hoping to pull into the tournament here?
We can have up to 50.
50.
Yes.
Wow. How
And
many
we-
boards? How many boards will you have?
Probably
We're-
about, what,
10.
Eight- yeah, eight or
to 10.
So is there any chance to do advertising on the board? Like, can you put our faces on the board so people are throwing bags at the forehead?
maybe
And
next year. Maybe we'll have
Yeah.
time
That
to
would
do
be
that.
great
to
do.
They
We
need
don't
to
have
do
too much
one,
time.
and then the hole could be your mouth.
That'd be a big
Yes,
That would
that
be-
would be good.
And people would
I bet you
be.
can start up a fundraiser
Yes.
for that.
Yes.
It'd be the biggest year you ever had raising money. You see the
That-
town council lining up right in
that-
front.
You know what? If you add a dunk tank and put him in, you're getting millions.
I've been in one before.
Oh,
And that could be
bad
arranged.
idea.
Yeah, we have 2 weeks to arrange for that.
That's true. When
I'll guarantee if you get a dunk tank, I'll be there. I'll sit there all day.
years ago, when he had hair, I don't remember what
Many,
it was.
many years ago.
He did a fundraiser, and at the end that I don't know who it was, but somebody shaved his head in front of a sea of people. And I will say that when someone goes from having hair to not having hair that quickly, it's a bit jarring. It is a bit
I don't know how
jarring.
to take that. I'm not really sure what that
I was
means.
like, oh, I can't. That's going to take a moment.
Yeah, I'm going to have to wait till you grow hair before we are back together.
Taking a break.
So 15 teams so far. You're hoping how many? Do you know how many boards will be set up and how the tournament?
Eight to 10.
8 to
We
10
have,
boards.
Yeah. So and then we have a guy who that's all he does, puts on tournaments. He will be there all day and he will be, overseeing everything, making sure it's a double elimination.
Okay.
I was just going to ask that. Yeah.
So I don't even know anything about cornhole. Like, do you get points or how does that work?
Well, the way I play apparently is not we've always known, like in the hole 3 and anything on the board 1. But I think official cornhole might be a little bit different.
Are we playing?
That's why we have the official.
I see. I see. So what if
and they played at 21?
21, yeah.
What if there's a tie? Do they thumb wrestle or they
There
are might go in the
rules to
dunk
deal with
tank.
that.
Nice.
Yeah.
They should do push-ups
I
in the
guess you play
sand.
until someone wins.
Yeah.
Is there like okay? I don't want to get into the weeds of the rules. How long do you think the whole tournament will go? Like all day?
Well, if we get all the teams, I think it would be an all-day event.
What time does it start?
11 a.m.
All right.
11 a.m. and we're going to just keep going until we have a winner crown.
So people can go to what website to sign up?
It's fmbpto.eventsmart.com.
You made it nice and easy, I see. FMBPTO. My sister's usually listening and writing notes down, and she
I'm like, it's on the top
she
right
might
there.
be able to post it on there. It's fmbpto.eventsmart.com, and you can register your team of 2 for $150, and it all goes to the kids, people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now-
please
And
stop being cheap. It's for the kids.
We have first, second, third prizes. Our prizes start like at $1,000.
Oh, wow. So the first place team wins $1,000 cash.
Well, not cash. We
Okay,
give
gotcha.
prizes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we have 5-day fishing charter. They're giving 5-day fishing charter. We know is one of them. So that's like a value of $1,000. And then we always get, the community is always wonderful. They give us the
Outrigger.
hotel
We have the
stays.
Outrigger
Yes.
Hotel.
Did you say a 5-day fishing?
It's their name, 5-day
the name
fishing.
of the-
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But you
'Cause
get
I
like
was
a
like,
half day, I think, shark
okay.
fishing.
I was going to say 5 days. That's way more
And
than
Shutters is
$1,000.
doing their cabana. They're giving us
Yes.
their cabana to give out to be one of the prizes.
Oh, that's nice.
Over $500 on its own.
Right.
And we're still gonna have our baskets, like where
do
people
raffles.
can, people buy tickets. So there'll be like,
And
you know.
people can come even if they're not in the cornhole
Oh,
tournament.
yes.
And
It's open to everybody.
participate,
Yes,
have
exactly.
food, drinks, get in on
Yes.
those
Yeah,
baskets.
exactly.
So
Now-
if you miss the cutoff or they get 50 teams, you can still come on down and support them
So
in
listen,
any
folks,
way.
it's 2 weeks away. You have nothing else to do. You don't want to leave the beach. It's a 2-person team. It's all going to the school. There's only 15 teams now, and they need 50 teams.
We also have people that are doing direct donations that aren't able to be here, and it's the same website. You just go on and you can just do a
Donate,
donation if
yeah.
you want. We have
Be-
some of our sponsors have done that, and if you're a $500 sponsor, you get a free team entry. So
Gotcha.
That's a way to go too.
It's all
We
for the
appreciate
kids,
it.
and there's nothing better than giving back to the kids. You don't want the kids walking to school without shoes.
Yep.
You don't want the kids going without uniforms. They don't have pencils.
think
They
they
have to
wear
write in
uniforms.
blood. So stop being cheap. We know you have money on the beach. If you can be a ghost team, you can sign up 2 people, and you can just pretend you have a team, and then you could forfeit. Just let the next person win.
That's
so,
true.
And,
they
you
need
know-
more than 15 teams now. Let's make this happen for the school and for the kids. Is there
And
anything
it's
you
an
want to?
important-
Is there
it's
anything you want to tell everybody at Bay Oaks? Because we know your friends
Yeah,
are
your
watching
friends
at Bay
Bay
Oaks. Here's your camera right here. Right there you go. Here's your opportunity.
You wanna
Make
tell-
be a star.
Talk about you want to talk about your school? What do you want to talk about? What do you love about Beach School?
Lunchroom.
The lunchroom. That is my kid.
That was my
she
favorite.
does love her lunch
yes.
ladies, right? Miss Gail and Miss Shelby.
Yeah.
We love you, Miss Gail and Miss Shelby.
What is your favorite lunch when you go to the lunch room? What chicken on the
Chicken
bone?
on the bone.
You know what? I only had pizza and chicken fingers. Now you get chicken on the bone.
Yeah, they
That's
get
nice.
the real deal these days.
Very cool. That
Yeah.
it?
That's it.
Do
What
you
else
like?
do you
Don't
like?
you like history? You have a history class you take, or
Yes,
social
young.
studies,
Not
or
quite yet.
not yet?
yet.
What grade does the history start?
like I think 9th grade.
Yeah,
Wow.
like middle, I was gonna say
Ninth
they
grade.
don't. My daughter's in 5th.
Cool.
And they still don't do history.
Well, we're looking forward to that area of the beach, like being transformed in the next few years with the new
Yes.
Bay
Yeah.
Oaks and the school there and the fitness area they're going to have out
Yeah.
front, which is
Yeah,
really
and
going to be
friends of
super.
the Friends of Bay Oaks, you know, they're
They're
getting,
getting back
up
together.
and running, and
They're
we're
getting the
hoping
friends
to work
back.
with them and partner and
Yeah.
do some amazing stuff. Hopefully,
Cool. So are they still wearing the masks in the school? Or is it
No.
optional now.
Optional,
They
yeah.
don't have to.
It's an election year, so I see they're phasing out the masks, which is interesting.
noticed
but-
that.
Yeah, yeah. But enough about politics. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about as it relates to this cornhole thingy and
No,
the school?
Just come
We-
out and support us. It'll be fun. Great prizes, like we said, cheap food and cheap drinks, and all the proceeds will go to. And they're gonna have a live music there. Brian has like the DJ, so it'll be a fun event.
and it's for the community, and
Yeah.
we're so lucky to be in this
Yeah.
great community, and we always come together and help each other. So we know we're gonna have a good time no matter
It
what.
would be cool for us to do a little show from,
Yes.
Yes.
from right there at 11 o'clock. We
Scoot
know
on
it's a
down.
little shorter
Yeah.
than it is to go to Santini Plaza.
Yeah, you
We've-
could run the stuff down there.
I don't know about
your
that. I'm
back.
getting old. It's harder
I
to
got
get
a
up when
radio
you're old.
flyer you could borrow.
What is that? Is that
The
like one of those
wagon.
little? Oh, those things are cool. Yeah. Are you allowed to ride them on the sidewalk, or they have to stay in the
It
road? I mean,
has
this-
lights on it, so you're probably
of course, you have a bell too.
Exactly.
Put a little
It's a
motor on
horn.
it.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you
So,
guys.
I
Oh,
just-
sorry.
I just wanted to ask one other thing. So obviously cash donations are great. Are there things that you guys need at the school, like wipes donated or paper or anything?
Pencils.
Well, I can tell you right now that their color printer, I talked to Terry, doesn't work.
Yeah, they need a new
I
printer
know.
and some new ink.
Yes.
We need,
That's just unacceptable. I
yeah,
mean,
right?
come
They
on.
need it.
So they have
need
to
it.
pay per copy now. So,
Where do you
getting
run to get
flyers
copies? I mean,
well, they do black and white flyers. Which
oh,
is
come
not-
on,
doesn't grab
people.
the attention like a colored
That's
flyer.
But we
unacceptable.
appreciate those flyers.
Yes.
So I always wondered, now you guys will know the answer to this because it's an easy question. Is there really a difference between a number 2 pencil and a number 3
You
pencil?
asked us this the last
I-
time
I
you were
just-
on.
I'm
I
so-
remember this.
Like when we were growing up, we always had to do the number 2 pencil in the circles. And I always was afraid if you went outside the circle, you got a wrong answer.
You could if you went way out.
That's why I got so many wrong because I probably went outside the circle. It was all about being
guessing. You were
artist.
just like,
It was about being an artist.
CCC.
What was the answer you gave me the first time? I don't remember. Like the different numbers of lead. I think it was just a way to sell number 2 pencils. It was a conspiracy to sell number 2 pencils
Yeah, and we still have to buy. Don't you have to buy like a certain one still?
of number 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
What ever went wrong with the number 1 pencil? Or like why did the number 1
Maybe
pencil get shunned?
the lead poisoning. I don't know.
Oh,
True.
well, I see.
Maybe, right? Maybe.
If you
Good idea.
use-
Or the size, yeah.
If you
Like a
use
darker
one of those
letter.
pencils that you have to put the lead in, like and click the eraser, what is that considered? What number does that get?
Oh, those come in all different numbers. Those come in like
Do they sell
different
number 2
millimeters.
lead to put in the fake
I think
pencil?
it's different lead.
I don't
Well,
know.
I think that this is deteriorating.
Do you-
far enough.
Do you write with a number 2 pencil or a pen, or do you just use an iPad, or what do you?
use in school?
A pencil?
Oh, very nice. See, it's old school down here at the
Yeah.
school, at the
Probably.
beach
I think
school.
that
Very
most
cool.
Schools are using pencils.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought most schools were just doing it like virtual reality, like whatever the kids were thinking would just pop up on the
Yeah.
That
board
could
now.
be dangerous.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for coming on.
All right.
I'm going to talk to Brian about coming down and doing a show if you don't mind. I
No.
mean,
no,
I know
he's
sometimes she
great.
could be a pain in the little overboard with her goofy questions,
Yeah.
but that'd be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, most
All right, you
definitely.
guys. Well, good
Thank you
luck.
so much.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
having us
coming
on
on.
again.
See you at the tournament, at the
All right.
Cornhole tournament. All right, everybody. Those are our friends from the PTO, and we're waiting for Steve Johnson to arrive. He's got to make a grand entrance. And before that, if you want to, your microphone is off so that you can schmooze with the guests while I read. It's February the 26th. Oh, I thought she was going to hit me. Did you see me flinch? I really thought you were going to whack me. I went like that, like I had some kind of seizure. All right, everybody. It's February the 26th is a cornhole tournament for the Fort Myers Beach PTO. And for those of you that don't understand what PTO is, it's the parent-teacher organization. Duh. Now, sign up your team for $150. You spend that much on alcohol every weekend. Knock it off. Beach Pottery is right up the street from us, everybody. 17980 San Carlos Boulevard. All right. right as you get toward that long line of people waiting to come on the beach. They have pots, and they have more pots. And they have planters of every size from $5 to $500 indoors and outdoors. They're open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. The cafe is now open with hot and cold espresso drinks, smoothies, breakfast sandwiches, and a daily fresh selection of baked goods, including muffins, cookies, cake pops. Love a cake pop, and more. A lot of the pots are imported from Vietnam. Alana purchases directly because she's the negotiator in that crew there. She's negotiating with the Vietnamese, and she's telling them, she needs this pot because this person on the beach likes this kind of pot. And so she negotiates the prices down, and she does a great job for everybody. And we love when you post where your pots are at your house and what you put in your pots. Sometimes you send pictures of things in your pot that I can't share with people. But it's nice to see that you're buying pots from Beach Pottery. 437-4211 is the number to call. 437-4211. One more ad before Steve Johnson, the great Steve Johnson, joins us. Yes, the great Steve Johnson. Couple of bells for Steve as we're getting ready to pull him on the show. Fort Myers Tiki Tours. 887-0042 is the number. You put a 239 in front of that if you're in Wisconsin or Chicago or Buffalo or Cincinnati or Los Angeles. 887-0042. They're private boats for up to 4 people for $119.99, up to 6 people for $179.99, and they're always sold out. So call in advance because you get to bob up and down on the water as you're going past Nervous Nellies, or you're going past Snug Harbor, or you're checking out the dolphins or the pretend sharks.
I think that we may be going on one when my mom comes down to visit. Yes,
Your mom's coming down?
I gotta get a hold of them.
Your mom's coming down? Can she swim?
That's not very nice. Well, of
Can
course
she swim?
can swim.
Just in case she falls off.
Dear, first of all, she's not going to fall off. Second of all, I don't think it's that
Sometimes
deep.
it's wobbly. I don't think it needs to be very deep if you can't swim, right? Just like you don't need to be going very fast on your bike to hurt your head if you're not wearing a helmet. But anyway.
And injure your brain and become
That's right.
extremely forgetful.
Right. You don't need to be driving fast on your bike. Anyway, Fort Myers Tiki Tours. You can go to fortmyerstikitours.com, or you can call them and say, Kim and Ed Ryan, we're talking about you. 887-0042. They have captains, they have coolers, they have Wi-Fi. You can play our 24-hour-a-day beach music, which is kicking ass.
Do they have Wi-Fi, or do they just have the Bluetooth?
Yeah, that's
that
Wi-Fi,
connects?
dear. Bluetooth
Connects.
is Wi-Fi.
Okay, never mind. No, doesn't it plug in?
It's plugged. What do you
Okay.
think Bluetooth is?
That it just happens without a cord.
Okay, yeah. All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from Fort Myers Beach, the chairman of the Marine Resources Task Force.
You're gonna have to be louder.
Steve Johnson. How about a big hand from our live studio audience for Steve Johnson? Nobody's paying attention to you, Steve.
Yeah, you can.
All right. Steve, the first thing is we want to make sure that everybody can see you. Oh, look at you. You look fabulous today. You see you dressed up for the show. Thank you very much for doing that.
It's cold weather.
Get the microphone nice and close.
Hey,
cold weather.
Yeah.
I have to ask. You have some they look like super fancy shoes,
You do.
sandals. What kind of? Because they look like they have really good arch support, and
What she really wants to know
They
is
do.
how much did they cost?
They're Skechers.
they're
My wife got
Skechers?
them on sale. Yeah, I actually got 2
no, they're
pairs.
not too bad.
How
we go
much is
through
on
them.
sale?
I think $20.
$20 each.
That's
For
I'm gonna get those.
some heavy duty flip flops.
I know, like
It's a
those
value.
UFOs and the ones that I got. They're like $89.
Do you get
Oh,
your
right, exactly.
toenails
Like-
manicured, by the way? It looks like you
Yeah,
spent some time.
Typically, I pull the chainsaw out once a year
Nice.
and try to dust them up a
I
little
could
bit.
tell, yeah.
Yeah.
If
nice.
I had feet like that, I'd wear socks.
I'm a foot model.
You are. Very nice. So the first question is, what's going on with the name change there? Everybody's all hung up on changing the name of your committee to Marine Resources something or other. And
Oh yeah. Well, the folks that are doing the most outreach for the advisory board feel like it's by adding the word environmental to it would tend to resonate more with the people that they're speaking with.
do you know the
So
difference?
what would it be then?
The Marine and Environmental Resource Task Force.
Because you need a longer name
Exactly.
to make
right,
it
right.
successful.
And it's you're right. But Murph doesn't even with MRTF.
Yeah.
It never made sense to me. I mean, it's just. But everybody else has a nice bore cab, cell cab, a nice little sing song.
Well, maybe we should change the name completely, like Murph Cab or something like.
What we're finding out is it's an order. I mean, it's a resolution. You have to recreate a new ordinance.
So silly to change the name. Why can't you just anyway?
Yeah.
The big question. Why are you kicking me?
Because you
don't like it when I
your
touch
leg
you?
Too far. It's too close.
Because I like to be touchy and feely with you.
No.
Do you know the difference between a number 2 and a number 1 pencil?
I do.
Okay.
Hardness.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hardness. Of
Which one is harder?
Graphite. The number 1.
So growing up, we always had to use a number 2 pencil to take our test. Is that because number 1 was too dark? Or?
Probably wouldn't fill in the dot dark enough possibly for the machine.
So is there such thing as a number 3 pencil?
There is, yeah.
Just lighter.
Actually a little darker, I believe. Yeah.
So the machines that were reading the test could only read number 2 pencils.
I don't know. That's actually, I'd speculate, but I think it has to be dark enough for it to.
So when you vote these days and you use a pen, how do you know that the machine wasn't one that was supposed to read a number 2 pencil?
Maybe the technology's better.
Yes.
I see. All right. So the real big question, Steve, is are you going to run for town council?
At this point, Ed, I just am not really sure about anything. I live a day at a time.
What kind of crocky answer was that, man? It's a yes or no.
Perfect one.
I live a day at a time.
Stop.
So
come on.
That's so far in the future that
it's not. It's not. It's just to remind you, it's November and we're coming up on March, and there's 2 seats available, and you went from a hard no to whatever that last answer just was. Wait,
to a soft yes.
How do we rewind that?
No, there's no.
Is that a maybe?
I would just say.
Why are you looking at her? I asked the
you
question.
never rule it out.
You know what? Exactly. You just never rule out anything.
You ruled it out during the last show. It was a hard no. I mean, you're now not ruling it out. So be honest with our 9 listeners. You've always been honest.
I've been perfectly honest. Yeah.
Okay. So rephrase. Just restate your answer for people that are harder hearing.
Currently, I live day to day, and I haven't considered it completely.
But anything is possible.
Will there be a time in the near future where you stop living day to day and you actually make a decision?
There will be that for all of us.
Yes, on less personal items, maybe. How about that?
Huh? What? Will there be a time where you make a decision, yes or no?
Oh, will there be time? Of course. I mean, after the deadline to sign up, I suppose that would eliminate any yes or no's. I don't actually. I don't know what the deadline is to sign up.
That was uncomfortable for the first time ever with Steve Johnson. So let's talk about the lighting, because you're so passionate about the lighting, and your wife, Cindy, is so passionate about the lighting. And we're waiting for the lights to go on Estero Boulevard.
We are, yeah.
Where do you think that situation is?
Well, where it's at right now, actually, is currently FPL has a fixture, a luminaire, that they're sending through their approved product testing. And that's sort of where it sits, I think. Obviously, there's the
turtle-friendly,
it's
a
narrow-band amber light.
Okay.
Sure, yeah. It's the higher lumen, 12,500 lumen light that will throw more light than is necessary onto the road, so everybody can see. It's entirely safe.
And this fixture needs to go through the FPL process.
Yeah, I think
so that it can be
added to the wildlife approved product list for FPL, which means that it's already approved by the FWC.
Mm-hmm.
And the advantages of that, obviously, is that then they can hang them on a lease program, and they can manage the lighting for the town. And more importantly, it can be added to the tariff.
Yes.
And the tariff then would get the DOE subsidy that's administered by the utility, and then will be by far the lowest cost to the taxpayer or the company.
Who do you think should pay for the lights?
Oh, I really don't. I don't care, actually.
Well,
I would
nobody
prefer
cares,
that
but
they go up. I think my
that's
point
where
is
we're
that
stuck. We're stuck right there, because I think that the county, when you go back to the MPO study, the county was ready to do something, it appeared, with white lights, And the town council poo-pooed that because they wanted amber lights. So they hired their own consultant, and the consultant came back with the recommendation they wanted, which was amber lights. And I guess we have a price of about $4 million, or it's
it's 1.6, correct? On the you even posted it in your recent newsletter.
It's a couple million. Then
it's 1.6. And that's
we don't know.
That's
we don't.
the farthest.
He just
No.
That's the farthest.
No.
Oh, great answer.
No. Because we don't know how many poles we need yet.
Sure, based on the consultant's configuration and costing of it, we sure do. Exactly.
You know exactly how many poles.
Yeah, to use. Yeah, we do. Yeah, I mean that's
without a photometric study, you know exactly how many poles.
Yeah, each luminaire has its own
foot candle.
Well, no, I mean it's array, I guess, of light, so they can actually sort of calculate it in without doing the final photometric. Because the photometric does a couple of things. One, it does calculates determines the uniformity of the light over the surface. But also, you've got to look at the edges. There's limits about how far the light should go. They talked about whether it should be going into the front yards of the people on a stereo, or should it just be kept at the curb. So you fine tune those types of things, I suppose. But yeah, I think it's pretty tight what the town lighting had put together for costing, and actually what they had originally proposed in that document was by far the highest it could possibly be. And, my estimation, it would be based on Bob Horswood, who came to town council from FPL. He's the director of LED solutions for FP&L. They did a question and answer about the tariff program.
When did that happen?
Maybe it was a year ago.
Okay.
Maybe about a year ago, he came in and they had a question and answer. And if, I wrote down the transcript of it. And if you read it, my estimation will be a quarter of what that
quarter of what?
A quarter of what the initial estimate would be for the
quarter of 1.6 million is what the final cost will be. If that,
I think so.
If
through FPL,
okay,
through
FPL,
excluding crosswalks that the county pays
right.
for.
So let me ask you this: if you know that the price is going to be 1/4 of 1.
I don't. I mean, that's my interpretation of what FPL told us.
If you think that's what it's going to be, I'm sure you shared it with some people, right?
Not really. I mean,
no.
That's until it's done, it's hard to do it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that. That's if we're taking bets.
Okay, so let's hypothetically say that
I'll give you 3 points.
Okay, 4-1 odds.
Hypothetically, let's say that you're not the only one that's privy to that one. Would you say 1/4 of 1.6? What is that?
Sure,
what is
400,000.
So $400,000. If you're saying to put amber lights on all of Estero Boulevard,
right,
is only going to cost $400,000. Why hasn't this town council gone to the voters and said it's only going to cost $400,000 instead of buying a $1 million piece of property for the mooring field? We're going to put lights up.
Well, the point is, it's never actually been fully costed by FPL. This is the consultants, and that's why they're giving you by far the largest it could possibly be, the most it would cost. So, until it goes through the entire process, is FPL in a position and sees a photometric analysis and figures out what's required, can they actually price it out? So, I mean, basically, the town or the town would be required for what's called CIAC, which is cost and aid of construction. So if there's anything additionally needed, so poles, some trenching, basically, which there's no trenching because it's all overhead. That's all they would be on the hook for.
Can I just ask for a point of clarification? He's talking about why wouldn't they go ahead? And this has been a long process.
Yeah.
But, without having those approved, the luminaire that you were talking about, without having that approved, you kind of, or I guess I should ask, do you have to kind of wait until that gets approved? Because before that gets approved, the price could be way different, right? Because there's nothing that's on the tariff.
Sure, yeah. And to the county's defense, I mean, at this point, they still don't know what it's going to cost. So how do you really want to commit? And it is a county, but it is a county road. To the mayor's point, it's a county road.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second, and not to pick on anybody, but yeah, the county. My understanding was that when I could be wrong about this, so I'm not saying it's 100% correct because I haven't gone through the contracts. But my understanding was when Larry Kiker was still around and they were negotiating or talking about fixing the road, By the way, the county's put $80 million into the road, only
sure have,
the road.
yeah.
So it's not like they ignore Fort Myers Beach. But when
Correct.
those deals were being discussed, that the county agreed to pay for the road, but the town was supposed to take care of their own lights.
Yeah.
Now things can change. Obviously,
Sure, that
things
was
can-
sort of the initial agreement. We'll put in a
Okay.
$1.6 million for crosswalks.
So now we're hearing that there's negotiations going on between the mayor and the county. How do you expect the county to say, okay, that's a good plan, when you haven't even come up with a price?
Sure, I would agree. I mean, I'm not sure they can.
Okay,
Unless they
so
wanted to give a carte blanche commitment to it, and that would be fantastic.
Like
Hey.
like a blank check kind of thing.
Sort of. Yes, we will do it, and let us know what to make the check out for.
but you feel confident that the pricing is going to be either 1.6 million total or less.
Correct.
So then
Absolutely.
why don't, if you were on the town council and
Mm-hmm.
in November you might be, for all we know, you might decide that you want to
Your
run.
day-to-day living
Yeah.
made change.
And I think that would be a fabulous thing, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
I would be in your corner 50%. So why not just go right to the taxpayers and say, listen, we're going to, we know it's a county road,
Mm-hmm.
but if we say to the county, we're going to pay for it, they're going to work with us and they're going to sign an interlocal agreement. We're going to put the lights up and you're going to have lights.
Mhm.
Would the voters on Fort Myers Beach pay for that?
You're gonna have to just state that whole thing again, Ed. I missed it.
Would the
No.
voters on Fort Myers Beach
I
be
think the
willing
voters
to go
on
for a
Fort Myers Beach are anxious to properly light
Okay.
Estero Boulevard.
Okay. Would
Yeah.
they go for a tax increase in order to take
How's
it?
he supposed to answer that?
What's your opinion? This is an opinion show,
Would
dear.
they? I mean, if they had, there was no other option. I think they absolutely would. If there was no other option, I think that the safety of the boulevard is a high priority for most people.
You
Yeah.
know, I was told, and I don't. Again, I was told this. I don't know if it's a fact. Everybody's got an agenda here.
Mhm.
Most of the accidents take place during the day.
That's correct. Yeah, on Fort Myers Beach, that was the statistics they provided us. Yep.
So, is it really that dangerous at night?
Oh, well, you
Well,
need
I mean,
lights.
yeah, I mean, lighting is helpful. Yeah.
But I mean, is it $2 million worth of lights
Profound.
needed? Why not just do what I said and put the lights in the curb?
That was an option that was never offered by
I
our
tried to offer it.
consultants. Right. Well, it wasn't. They came in, a
I
little
didn't
bit
charge
of a preconceived-
$160,000 for that idea either.
Right.
So you have any other questions for Steve on that topic?
No, I thought
Yeah.
you were not even talking about that. I thought it was.
Yeah, well, we're
okay.
gonna, Steve, I want to show you this other thing that
Projects.
came up during the town council management and planning session.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at him. He's already getting all I think this is part of what the conversation was about, right? These lights here.
Those would be the Times Square, Bayside Park.
Okay, so
San
let me
Carlos
give a little
Boulevard corridor.
background for a few people. What I think part of the project is, if you see those lights on the bottom there, it looks like it's kind of mood lighting. It's kind of ambiance. It's
What are you showing here? Is this
that's
Bayside
the
Park?
stage. No, that's
Or is this?
I think that's the
Times
stage
Square?
at Times Square. I
Yeah,
could be
the
wrong.
pier is-
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, it's lights that would be in the ground that would be shooting up toward the palm trees.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Rexanne, Vice Mayor, said they were pretty. They're just prettying the place.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason,
Yeah, it's vanity lighting for sure.
for some reason, you guys are up in arms about that.
Well, I think who would know though, right? When was there an opportunity to provide any type of opposition? The meeting was at an M&P meeting. It was held in an M&P meeting.
But you're not allowed to.
Right.
You're not allowed to.
Get
There's
back
no,
and
yeah,
forth.
dissent is hushed, right? I mean,
You can change that when you're elected, by the way.
that's true. However, it was just quite a production actually. If you were on site, to watch it back, you've got the audio problems. You only have one camera angle. But to watch this group of 8 people come marching out of the side door when it was time to do the lighting, there's a defense team there. So there was 8. No, seriously, there was 8 people there.
I only saw 3 on camera, but
Right at one time. No
Right.
kidding, right? I'll get to that. But anyway, there's 8 people that came out and also phone a friend. So our friend.
the consultant couldn't even come to
consultant-
town for this.
the
She was on the phone.
So the consultant, well, it was high. She was retained for this. This wasn't part of the scope of her responsibility. So she was paid by taxpayers
Extra.
to defend the town I'm speculating, but she's certainly not going to do that for free. And if she did,
the
that would be a
contract
conflict of interest.
Just to be clear, their contract that they were supposed to be paid up to, I think, 180, and that full amount wasn't paid yet. So there might have been some play there. But anyway,
that was structured so to say that the 180 was if they did a private build. Organized the funding for it,
so
and
you
everything
think,
else.
Okay, all right.
So it was structured such to the point where I believe, I mean, the invoices are over from them, unless we hire them to, let's say, do the photometric study when everything's ready to move forward. So the actual engineering, which technically is probably what they're best at, because it certainly wasn't consulting.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
so 8 people. Go ahead.
So anyway,
Sorry.
so they have phone a friend, and and again, there's no dissent. And the really discouraging thing is in the prior couple of town hall meetings, the town council had said numerous times and had consensus, I thought, was to have some type of review before you get to this point, so that there isn't any, to hopefully to kind of stamp out any conflict, and that never occurred. So this was sort of a I likened it to a railroading job. Yeah.
Right. And so just so people that don't know what you're saying is the Times Square project is at 100% design right now. They came.
Bayside Park is, I'm not sure Times Square.
100%. Bayside Park is already under construction.
Right. But the 100% was still not done. Yeah. The design.
Times Square is 100% design. And the merchants up on Times Square are livid of not being involved in that.
Exactly. The stakeholder meeting they talk about. And at this point, I mean, I'm trying to figure out who's behind this.
No, you're not trying to figure it out.
Who's pushing this?
You know who's pushing this.
Pushing this.
You're just not going to say it.
Town council didn't have an opinion. I haven't heard any other, a big cheerleading squad come in and do cheerleads to say this is what we want. They've alluded to the fact that the October 2019 stakeholder meeting, I think with the merchants is sort of leading this, and I don't believe that for a minute.
So let's get back to the lights, because we could do this all day, but we have a fashion show.
So what do you what's the objection?
So it's actually multifaceted. There's a couple of buckets here. The first is public safety. So what they've done, actually, the town is as being the requester and the grantor of the permit to the judge and jury, first of all.
Okay.
So effectively what's happened is there's been this, there's a couple things. One is there's the municipal lighting ordinance. Okay. Then there's the sea turtle lighting ordinance. And so those are sort of separate things. Everybody wants to say if it involves lighting, it's turtles. And that's the farthest thing from the truth when it comes to the municipal lighting ordinance. But what they have done is sort of made an exception to the municipal lighting ordinance. There's a lot of discussion about what the intent of the lighting ordinance was, right? They actually, I don't know if they were looking it up on the dictionary, there's a bunch of definitions that people were looking up during the time. But basically, before I even go forward, there's a couple pieces of paper I brought. One of them was that ordinance.
All right.
And the reason I brought it was really just to read, read what I would consider the intent or the scope.
Oh, that's what they were hung up on a lot during the meeting. Intent or what? Well, you can't really go by intent. The word is the words are the words.
It's the purpose, and here's the words. It says the purpose of this ordinance is.
What ordinance are you talking about?
This is the Division 20 lighting standards, or the municipal lighting ordinance. So this would apply to any homeowner.
The town's lighting ordinance. Okay,
exactly.
Gotcha.
And the purpose is to curtail and reverse the degradation of the nighttime visual environment.
What the hell does that mean?
By minimizing light pollution, glare, and light trespass, which is nuisance lighting, through the regulation and form of using outdoor lighting. So the intent it's a dark skies. It's actually a dark skies ordinance, and this thing's been in effect for
So
for
you're
many years.
suggesting that those uplights, is that what they're
They're
referred
uplights.
to?
That's exactly
Okay,
right.
is
Yep.
going to go against that. It's going to do too much light
So
pollution.
the intent of this, and you heard, full cutoff, shielded.
Right.
The intent of this is that if you put a light in a cup upside down, all the light can only go down and illuminate the pathways and your sight line so you can see. The minute you turn that over from 180 degrees, light spills into the atmosphere.
Right.
And so that's why this whole thing is set on full cutoff, shielded, downward directed lighting. And it's responsible lighting because it's like when you're outside on a sunny day, that sun's in your eyes. What do? You put your hand up to the sun, and that stops the glare. So anytime you see the source really of a light source, it produces visual glare into your eyes, and it's extremely unsafe. So the intent of this also, not only safety, but again, anything that comes out laterally goes to the sky. So, I mean, that's the intent of our municipal lighting ordinance, and there's no question. When
you take the ordinance out of it and the intent and the purpose and the whole thing, I mean, what the hell what was the deal with that lighting? Why do you need that lighting? Why do you need that ambiance lighting? It's,
you know what? I mean, they're
trying to make it look pretty.
And
Rick Sands said it was trying to make it look pretty. I mean, is that really?
It's vanity lighting. And they alluded to that it has nothing to do with safety. And
okay, but why was it in there? Was it in there just for prettiness?
I don't know how many times you can ask that, and
so you're not
to give you an idea. In Bayside Park, it's a very small area.
Yeah,
there's going to be 36 uplights. Now everybody focused on the trees. The problem is they also have them on the poles that are holding up the canopies.
Yeah,
the sunshades, which are
that seems like a lot of light.
And then it is, and these are all 2,000 lumen.
So what is your objection to the light? Is it gonna? You just think it's dangerous or dumb?
First of all, first and foremost, it still does not meet the municipal lighting ordinance. Even in their presentation, I had requested a copy of it. If you blow up the photometric, images that they had on a particular slide, it shows that it's still out of compliance. The amber light is below the minimum. It's between 0.78 and 0.82. Anyway, it's below the minimum. And it also doesn't meet the foot candle requirements at the perimeter. You can only have a half a foot candle. And I don't want to get into the weeds here. But basically, the light levels are too high at the edge of the property still. And the interesting thing is that was never discussed because what you saw presented was a very, very catered, cultured,
cool-looking picture.
Well, no, a cultured presentation. I mean, they had a lot of time to work because since the last meeting, when the input was give us something else to look at, because there was a lot of objections to it. One of them is that for 6 months there's going to be nothing on, and what purpose does that serve? So these lights are.
You can't even have those pretty lights up during turtle season.
No, absolutely not. No,
why?
Because they're white light sources, and that's against the sea turtle ordinance, which is a whole different thing.
Oh, so you can only, first of all, you can only have them up for 6 months because of the turtles. Well, why even have them at all?
Well, isn't that the question? And the town manager is promoting that. Well, let's just put them in, and then we can turn them on.
Oh, I did hear that.
Yeah. And all those slides show that the town of Fort Myers Beach has full control over when these are.
Yeah, but why waste the money on something you're only going to use 6 months out of the year?
But ultimately, the real issues here is the number one is public safety. So this is what got caught up too in the discussion was this color light change. Councilman Allers was a little bit confused at first because he thought that it was going to change daily from amber to white, and that wasn't the case.
I don't think he came across confused.
No. But I think on this subject he was, because they had clarified it afterwards. But the concept is this: is that for 6 months of the year, let's look at the projects that have gone around town. So we've got Estero Boulevard, which would be all amber light. Right up to Crescent Street, which they owe. I mean, at this point, that's the way it's scheduled.
Sure.
And again, somebody'd have to come back on a unanimous decision from town council to do that. Up to Crescent Street, the county owns Crescent Street, and I'm sorry, not Crescent Street, but Estero Boulevard from Crescent Street to I think 5th Street, let's say.
Until the state takes over.
Until the state takes over, and that goes to the state. Well, the county mandates amber all year long, because it's FDOT or lead dot regulations. They follow FDOT, and it's a wildlife area of concern. And so they will put, and they are putting up the same luminaire that's intended for Estero Boulevard at Crescent Street intersection, and the area all the way to 5th Street. That's ambers all year long. So now if I'm leaving Bay Beach, I live on Bay Beach Road, I'm driving an amber light all the way up. Then I get to 5th Street, and that's state-owned. That's all amber.
Okay.
If I was to go further, I would go up the bridge, which is going to be all amber all year long right now, to the base of the bridge, and then you can do what you want because that's outside this wildlife area of concern. But now, for 6 months of the year, as you turn left on 5th Avenue to Old St. Carlos, right next to Town Square, for 6 months of the year, you're going to have white light in Times Square. You're going to have an amber light the one that you had pointed out when it was first installed, at the busiest pedestrian crosswalk on the island is amber. And then for 6 months, you're going to walk out of that light back into white light, which they intend to do on Old San Carlos. So you're going to have people at the same time, you're going to have cars turning off an amber street light and then taking a right at that busiest intersection. And then you're driving in white light, 3K white light, which is bright white light, down to Bayside Park,
which will be lit up well.
And then flashing lights.
No, then you'll take a right and continue along, and then now you're back into Amber Street because the town also
Amber Street. I didn't know that.
Amber lights.
Oh.
Amber lights. So the town also voted unanimously for 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and Crescent Street to be amber all year long too. So somebody has to explain to me why that has to occur. But additionally, let's say for Times Square here, they have these white lights going all the way around the perimeter as well. So now at let's say Cold Stone Creamery, you're standing on the sidewalk in white light, and as soon as you step off the curb, you're in amber light. It's just not safe. I mean, there's a rule of thumb that you don't change.
Well, there shouldn't be white amber, then all these purple.
You have to explain why,
flashing.
because it's not a safety issue. I mean, that's been talked about. It's lumens, it's light on the surface.
Yeah.
So somebody has to actually explain why that dangerous decision has to exist, because both the public safety, John Goggin, Don Thomas, and the whole group said there's one thing that they want, and that's a consistent light
everybody
color
said that
all year, and that was also consistent with what the Marine Resource Task Force was, and frankly, their
Marine Resource Environmental Task Force.
Right, it hasn't been codified.
Oh, I
yet,
see.
So
Sorry.
We'll see if it even does.
Do you think it has a chance to pass?
I think so. I don't think there was a lot of pushback. I don't think it is what it is. You know.
So where are we on we're out of time. We're already over, and we could go till 10:30 on this, but we have to do a fashion show. She's modeling.
I know.
Bikinis down at Santini Plaza.
Nobody wants to see that.
Where do we? Is it just a done deal now?
No,
or?
it's not. They had consensus for them to move forward. Basically, is all it is. You don't really vote at a M&P meeting. So I would encourage anybody that's struggling with this decision to spend money on something that's only going to work for half a year, as well as the safety implications with it. But also, like I said, we didn't get into turtle lighting, and the fact is that this requires, and maybe even Bayside Park, although construction started, it's possible that needed a DEP permit, which hasn't been pulled. But this will definitely need one because it's within the CCCL, which means the FWC will review and comment. So it's possible that they won't even allow to do.
So what do you want people to do?
Install them in Bayside Park and then be.
So what do you want people to do? Just they have to.
They have to contact the town council. Yeah. Really, that's what.
Because there's no meeting until March.
It just doesn't make sense.
There's no meeting, and things are churning.
Too, wasn't it, after the MVP meeting?
And they're churning and churning.
Well orchestrated.
Work is being done. So well orchestrated. I like that. So one last question before we let you go. I know you canceled your tarpon. You're the big tarpon guy.
We had a club event today. Yeah, that's
Thank
right.
you for doing
Season's starting to roll. Yep.
So if you hypothetically, between us 2 kids and the 9 listeners that we have, we're on the town council, would you be in favor of this town manager?
You know what? I reserve my opinion on that.
You've never been so vague in all the time we've known each other.
It's a day-to-day thing.
It's crazy. All of a sudden you got political.
Oh, I'm not political.
You're not.
You know,
until today,
you gotta take the high road, Ed.
What high road?
That
wasn't a low road question. How dare you accuse me of that?
But also, my opinion counts for little.
That's going to be a clip.
No,
you have to take the high road, Ed.
My opinion counts for very little to 0. Nobody else's counts less than my opinion. So,
right.
Well, thanks, Steve. We appreciate you coming on. Let's do this again soon. No, seriously.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this progresses.
I actually
we didn't
hope
get
you
to
do
talk
run.
anything about the shorebirds and the seabirds.
No, we have to go.
I watched that whole thing.
No,
Very
and we didn't get to tell our story about how she had a wicked bird incident.
Of course.
Yeah, I need to tell you this off camera.
Did it produce?
It's bad news.
Blood?
Oh yeah.
Is it something you ran into?
All right, folks, we gotta go.
Okay.
We gotta go to the fashion show. We're gonna be heading down to Santini Plaza. The fashion show starts at 11. If there's traffic in the way, please move to the side. And we will see you in 1 hour from Santini Plaza. Thank you very much.